Good morning, students. Now we once again the chapter Weather and Climate, chapter 4 in Geography for class 7th. Now video 2nd. Distribution of atmospheric pressure. Here we were talking about that equatorial region is the low pressure belt. Now after that, on the 30-degree north subtropical high pressure belt, 60-degree low pressure, and on the 90-degree polar region there is the high pressure belt. Same way in the other part, subtropical high pressure belt 30-degree south, but on the 60-degree south there is the subpolar low pressure belt, and on the 90-degree of the south pole there is the high pressure belt. Through according this diagram, you have to be seen how the pressure belts are there. On the subtropical high pressure belts, now it is also known as the horse latitude. Why? Winds blow from the subtropical regions toward the equator as trade winds. So that's why another of the winds blow toward the subpolar low as westerlies. Now subpolar low pressure belts are located 60-degree, 70-degree in both the hemisphere. The winds coming from the subtropics and the polar regions converge in this belt and rise upward due to the rotation of the earth and the centrifugal forces. Now third is the polar high pressure belt are located around north pole and the south pole in both of the hemisphere. Now the cold descending and air develops high pressure in the polar regions of the north pole and the south pole. So these regions have permanent ice cap. Amount of the moisture present in the air given the temperature and maximum capacity of the air to hold moisture, that temperature is known as the relative humidity, and relative humidity is always expressed in the percentage. Now relative humidity is better ways expressing the level of humidity in the air. Relative humidity of air decrease with the increase of temperature. Now absolute humidity determines the amount of precipitation, while the relative humidity tells us about possibility of precipitation. Now precipitation, the process of converting the water vapor into the water ice called the condensation take place due to the loss of heat when a small drop of water or ice crystal fall on the ground is known as the precipitation. Now for the other form of precipitation like rain, like the rain, dew, hail and snow. Now first is humidity. The amount of water vapor or moisture present in the atmosphere at a particular time and place is known as the humidity. Humidity is expressed absolute humidity and relative humidity. Humidity always expressed in the percentage. Now rainfall. Rain is the most important and common form of precipitation. Rainfall occurs only when the droplets of water in the clouds change into raindrops. One raindrop has 5 million cloud droplets. Depending upon the way which condensation and cooling of the warm moist air take place. Now there is the types of the rainfall. One, convectional type of the rainfall, and another is the orographic type of rainfall. Basically on the convectional rainfall here, okay, on the convectional rainfall, the heated air with moisture rise in the form of convectional current leading to the development of clouds about 10 km height, and ascending hot humid air currents cause condensation and cloud resulting heavy rainfall for a short duration. Such rainfall combined by thunder and lightning, this mostly occur in the equatorial region. Now second is the orographic rainfall. It is also known as the relief rainfall. It occurs due to cooling of warm and moist air which ascend above the mountain barriers lying in the direction of the prevailing winds. The sudden ascent causes cooling air which cause condensation. Now here and precipitation. So most of the precipitation in the world is the orographic in nature. Now cyclonic rainfall. Third is the cyclonic this type of rainfall associated with the tropical and temperate type of cyclones. When the warm and cold air masses confirm each other, the warmer air lighter generally climbs above cooler air heavier. Boundaries between warm and cold air masses called the front. Now this rising air is called and causes heavy precipitation. The tropical cyclone are also known as typhoons, hurricanes and tornadoes. Rainfall is very useful as bring fresh water on the earth's surface. This is needed for survival of human beings, animals and plants. However, excess of rain can use flood and less rainfall can cause the drought condition. Now you have to be seen with the help of the picture. This is the convectional rainfall. Now orographic rainfall. Now third is the cyclonic rainfall. Here the next is the dew. During the winter season at night the condensation of moisture does not take place in the free air. So it needs some solid object like the leaves, flower, grass blade, piece of rocks which cool down due to quick radiation at night. When the cool air having the moisture comes in contact with the object, condensation take place and formation of water droplets on this object called the dew. Hailstorm. Next is the hailstorm. Hailstorm, when the small droplets of water in the lower part of cloud join together, the large droplets of water are formed. The strong rising currents carries this raindrop to the higher level. It causes freezing, gives a rise of a small pellet. These small ice pellets fall down and their outer surface melt. These are then carried up again and again until the weight of ice pellets become so heavy so cannot be carried up by the current. These big ice pellets fall as a hailstone on the earth's surface. Snowfall, the condensation in the form of tiny ice crystal needs very low temperature. If the temperature of the air is below the freezing point, then the moisture from the atmosphere is released in the form of frozen ice crystal. Due to melting of the edge of the ice crystal, many of them stick together from snow flakes. Now, no two twice ice crystal or snowflakes are identical in shape, size. However, always remember that snow is not frozen rain. Now another wind. Air always move from high pressure areas toward the low pressure areas. The horizontal movement of the air is called the wind, while the vertical or nearly vertical movement of the air is called the air currents. The winds is always named after direction from which blowing. Here the difference in the atmospheric pressure between two places give pressure gradient. Now the rotation of the earth produce the Coriolis forces which deflect the winds. Wind are deflected to their right and northern hemisphere and their left southern hemisphere, and minimum deflection equator and maximum at the poles. Now roughness of the earth's surface cause friction which reduce the speed of the wind and also changes the direction of wind. Ocean surface is smooth, the friction is less and the wind blow smoothly higher speed over the ocean. Now types of the wind. Here when the types of the wind, so basically beta these are the permanently winds. On this picture you have to be seen with the help of the picture. Here equator zone is the low pressure zone, but it is also doldrums. The winds which blowing on the equator, it is known as the doldrum. Now northeastern trade winds, they were blowing towards the equator side, but the subtropical high pressure winds which are known as the horse latitude, they were going upward direction. From northeast polar winds, they were coming the side of the 60° north. Now on the poles there is the high pressure belts originate. According to the winds, permanently winds the winds blow roughly and constantly in the particular direction is called the permanent winds or the prevailing winds. The main permanent winds are the trade winds, westerlies and the polar winds. The trade winds blow from the subtropical high pressure belt toward the equatorial low pressure belt in both hemispheres. Now, these are known as the dry winds, westerlies, blow from the subtropical high pressure to the belt to the subpolar low pressure belt. This direction of the southwest to the northeast in the northern hemisphere, and due to their high velocity they are also called roaring forties. Polar winds blow from the polar high pressure belts to the subpolar low pressure belt in the both of the hemisphere. So you have to see the monsoon winds in summer season. Now generally they move toward the south part of the India and the south part of the world, but the monsoon winds in the winter season they were moving to the northeastern part of the world, here northeastern part of India. So in this diagram you have to see northeast monsoon which are coming from the Bay of Bengal branch, but in the monsoon winds, summer monsoon, the winds which are coming from the Arabian Sea and move to the south part of India and the northeastern part of India. The winds which blow from the northeastern in the northern hemisphere known as the southeast or the southern hemisphere, these winds are very cold winds. Now seasonal wind. Monsoon winds is known as the seasonal winds. Here monsoon winds blow from the sea toward the land. For an example, Arabian Sea. In India, summer monsoon winds. The lands toward sea during the winter season, the world. Monsoon has been derived from the Arabic word mausim meaning season. So there are the summer monsoon and the winter monsoon. Now in India, summer monsoon starting from the June to the September. Now June is on the 1st June it is the day when the monsoon come in India. Now it is known as the summer monsoon. During the winter season the conditions are just reverse, so that summer monsoon season develop over the land mass while there is low pressure over the Indian Ocean. So thus the winds blow from the land to sea and bring the cold climatic condition, cold dry weather in the month of the November to the February. Now especially the land and the sea breeze are experienced in narrow coastal regions the daytime. Thus at the daytime the land is cool and the sea is still warm. The winds blow from the land to the sea are called the land breeze. Now, okay, about the local winds.